Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And in today's video, I'll be going over, I guess you could call it a CBBH update 2, just with some of the questions that I've gotten the past day since I dropped the last video. My exam is still under review, so I will be answering some of the questions about the CBBH, how I would recommend this to a beginner or which one, time allotted to the different pathways of Hack the Box, blue team, red team, pen tester, whatever. I'll be answering these questions right now. So that being said, let's jump right into these questions. Oh, there it is. I forgot it was a question on top of a reply. That's why it took so long. So the question was, is the CBBH realistic as far as the exam, like real life scenario? Yes, it is. Again, it's not real difficult. For me, it wasn't difficult at all. It was good, realistic, but it wasn't like the web stuff in the CPTS, which I guess is good because this is more of a beginner introductory level to web. And I guess from what I've seen, at least, it seems like people are trying to tailor web to be the new entry level because CPTS, I mean, you're hitting all cylinders all over the place. Internal, external, AD, web. And some of those web exploits, one of them really got the shit out of me. And it frustrated the hell out of me because you have to restart the machine sometimes 5 to 6 times in order for it to work. And apparently that's how that's how the exploit is in real life. So for those, I think it was flag 3. So for those that have taken it, know what I'm talking about. So it really got you. And there are some of them that are really, really long. And the CPTS 2, if you get stuck, you pretty much are stuck on the exam. Whereas the CBBH, like I said, once you do your scans, you get everything and do a granular scans on what you find from your OG scan. You could go back and forth, this, that, and come back. Whereas the CPTS is pretty much not like that. Once you get stuck, you're stuck. So, however, it is realistic. It's just more tailored to a beginner, but they are realistic. So that being said, that's the video, guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to put out the Advent of Cyber day 19 today and then day 20. Yeah, and that's it. Y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. So first question I'd like to answer, would I recommend the CBBH to a beginner between that and the CPTS? Or which one would I recommend to a straight out pure beginner, no training, certifications, cyber or even network knowledge at that is what I'm assuming that they're asking. This one is going to be a light gray area, but if I had to pick one, I would go the CBBH just because it's only going to pertain and touch the web application portion. Whereas the CPTS, you're doing internal, external, Active Directory. You have to do different types of exploits and change the exploits. Even though it's nothing crazy or creating code, you still might not know that as a beginner or even where to look to get those exploits or even know what to look to exploit as far as what services or CMSs are running on some of these websites, right? And then you also have the web application and even some API portions in the CPTS. Now, mind you, the CPTS web side of things, as far as from the exam standpoint, is a lot harder than the CBBH, in my opinion. I would find it very rare to see someone say that the CBBH was harder than the CPTS. I would really, really find that hard to believe someone would say that. But as far as pertaining to the question, I would recommend the CBBH to a straight out pure beginner just because it's less to cover, less stress, less flags. Even though it's 7 days, I still think you got way more than enough time to get this completed. And the training material is all in there. Everything you need is literally in there. You do not need anything else outside of the Hack the Box Academy, CBBH, or bug bounty pathway. So that would be my recommendation between one or the other, CBBH right off the bat. The second question I would answer, how long did it take to complete the CPTS, CBBH, CDSA pathways? They are different for me. And again, I'm going to speak from my experience. I can't speak for anyone else's. So for the CPTS to start, since that was the first one I did, I started that one back in, I think, the end of December, the week between it's almost going to be a year. So next week, the week in between Christmas and New Year's, that's when I technically started it. Now, I didn't start it to even, I wasn't even planning on taking the CPTS when I started this pathway. The only reason why I got it was because I was told that this pen tester pathway was really, really great, especially because I was on my way to get my OSCP in June. So I did it off and on, and I also utilized TCM's ethical hacker courses as well. So I used those in conjunction, and I didn't finish the CPTS pathway until I believe it was mid-September, end of September. Now, once I completed my PNPT in July, that's when I really started hitting it, and that's when I made the choice to start. I'm going to take this exam. And originally, I was going to take this exam starting next week during the Christmas holiday break shutdown. However, that got switched out and switched over. So I pretty much swapped out the CBBH with the CPTS dates. So once I got past my PNPT, that's when I put it on full throttle and I went over it again. So pretty much, the CBBH, that took me about 2 weeks, and I still went over it multiple times, especially the stuff that I needed to go over, that I felt I needed to go over for this exam. The CDSA, I did that within I think a week and a half. I just literally powered through it. We had what we called some stuff for work during the shutdown, and pretty much I just utilized that time and I just did it after hours, and then I did some during work hours when I have some free time. So that's pretty much the allotment times for those 3 pathways. Starting on Monday, I finished the Active Directory Attack and Defend. No, not Attack and Defend. Active Directory Attack and Enumeration, I believe it's called. That was part of the CPTS. That and LDAP are the only ones I have completed as of today. For the CAPE Certified Active Directory Pen Tester, which I am planning on taking mid-January to mid-February, Valentine's Day. So my goal for the next 2 weeks, starting on Saturday, is to get this whole thing knocked out before New Year's. That pathway, the Active Directory one, or the higher end, the CAPE pathway. So that's my goal for that. And then once I get that certification, I'm hopping right into web. I will be doing that in tandem or parallel with TCM's mid to also their newer advanced web app course as well, just to get really, really great knowledge and build up different kind of methodologies, learn different tricks on how they teach it compared to Hack the Box with their CWEE pathway, just because they have more videos, and I hear the CWEE is really, really, really hard. That's at least what I've been told. So especially someone that's coming from, still, I would say a little bit above a beginner web. I feel web, like I said, web for me next year is web and cloud are it for me next year. That's really, really my goal and things I want to hammer down. So the other one, do I think CAPE, meaning the Advanced Active Directory Pen Testing, will have any web exploiting or just Advanced AD? I don't think it will have any web exploiting at all. There is nothing in the pathway. Hack the Box is really good. Whatever's in that pathway, that's what you're going to be tested on, right? So there, pretty much everything that is in that pathway, from pretty much your LDAP, I believe it's NTLM, C2, Sliver, there's another one, what was it called? DACI? Something like that. There's 1 and 2. There's, I think, about 8 or 9 of them. Pretty much whatever's in those modules in that pathway for the Advanced AD, that's what you're going to be tested on. Nothing outside of that, you will not be tested on. So pretty much Hack the Box does a real good thing on that. The other one, the other question is, should I go for blue team or red team first? First off, I would say before you even go red team, you're going to have to learn the basic knowledge or basic methodology, functionalities of pen test. That's not just conducting a pen test. That's also learning the whole ins and outs of the whole project portion of it. So starting off from the kickoff meeting from your project, planning in scope, out of scope, who has to be in those kickoff meetings, how you're going to conduct those meetings, whether it's internal, external, and or both. External meeting, you're working with an outside company or person who created a application for you. That's part of your enterprise infrastructure, or you're working with something like a Deloitte, KPMG. Also, how are you going to plan out that project? Where are you going to put that project? How are you going to time out and map out your SLAs to be in tangent with different teams, your dev, AppSec teams, external, internal teams, the whole nine? How are you going to define and meet your SLAs? How are you going to break down that criteria? So say like if you got a critical, you have a 3-day fix, anything medium low is 30-day, etc. So you got to have and take in that knowledge as well. Plus you also got to do the reporting piece. So for me, I wouldn't even think about red team until you got pen testing down first. And then if you want to go blue team, I think you could pick either one. But blue team's going to be a little more, I would say, how do you say, not divided, I guess diverse, meaning you got incident response, you got DFIR, threat hunting, SOC analyst, threat intel. You got different genres and sectors within the blue team, or cyber threat unit, insider threat unit, whatever you want to call it. People brand it all kinds of different names. So I think what I'm trying to say is you got more options to go for. For me, the big ones are going to be obviously your incident response. However, for me personally, I would go the threat hunting route, just because you're going to learn a little bit more and you're going to touch where threat hunting is more of like a specialty as a red team. You're still going to touch a lot, and you're also going to be working a lot with the red team as well. So I would pick pen testing to start if you don't have that knowledge base, and if you want to go the blue team route to start, I would go threat hunter first. That's just me. That's how I would do it. The other question is, let's see, where was it at? This one was actually a good one. Let's see, where was this at? This one was actually a good question. Oh, that's what it was. From the other video that I put out, CPTS is hard for some people new in pen testing. However, still HR considers this, still considers it an introductory level cert. So I kind of talked about this in one of my other videos. Number one, HR should not be writing these job requisitions. These should be coming from a manager. I know sometimes managers get held up and they put that onto HRs. I mean, like I said, there's still CEHs that are being required or highly preferred over an SCP. I still see some today on LinkedIn. So that tells me that either the HR or HR business partner that is helping this team out has no knowledge of these kind of different types of job descriptions, or no experience in the cyber area. Say they come from finance, legal, facilities, different dev teams. So they're pretty much just copying and pasting, or hitting up a friend on LinkedIn. Can you give me a baseline job description so I copy and paste, cookie cutter kind of type stuff. So I know this for a fact because I used to hang out with a lot of recruiters, and they do that, believe it or not. So again, once you get in, and even if, they're going to know right off the bat from your how you structure your resume, right? Not just the keywords, but what you have, how you're selling yourself, how you're selling what you've done as far as projects, how you've like you got to structure it certain ways. And remember, just because a recruiter is helping out cybersecurity doesn't mean she's going to have that cybersecurity where, I know how to do red team this, hack RFID. They're not. Most recruiters are going to look on how you sell yourself. So that's how you got to look at it. Now, yes, right now CPTS is still not there. However, it was my own prediction that this coming summer, that it will be neck and neck or even take over for OSCP, in my opinion. There's also an article, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I just put that out today. And a lot of people are going that route. And if you ask people that are actual pen testers, red teams, and not just themselves, but actual managers, they will tell you that if they had a pick between someone that has a CPTS and OSCP, hands down, they're taking that CPTS person with that. If they had to choose out of the two. Now, mind you, they have to be doing their job requisitions, or even if you grow as a manager, you should be doing your own job recognitions, because if not, you're not going to find the talent that you need. You're going to go off of, like I said, some cookie cutter job rec that an HR just copied and pasted from a friend, not knowing what to look for because they have no experience in cybersecurity. Now, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but pretty much most of them are. Outside, and I'm talking about if you're going as an internal employee. So that being said, please be aware of that. And if they do hit you up, you're going to have to tailor your resume for both, right? Sell yourself, but also show your hard skills and your soft skills. So there's 3 key things right there that you got to put in your resume, because you don't know what kind of recruiter, you don't know the recruiter's background. You don't even know if it's an actual recruiter. It's just your resume is being run through some kind of automation tool or software platform. It might even go straight to the business partner the HR business partner that's pulling, whatever metrics on a resume that they're receiving. That's how sometimes it goes. So you got to structure your resume to have those 3 different layers or levels. However, I will say this: I would go CPTS first, just because, especially, and I say that not because I'm not getting paid or I'm not sponsored by Hack the Box or any of that shit. I'm saying just from most people, from a budget standpoint, because when you buy OSCP, I don't know how it is now. When they changed the new model, they got bought out. OSCP Plus, they have they took away the bonus points. So I don't know how the labs, I don't know how any of their training is now. So I can't speak on it for now. But if it still is the same or even less, because pretty much what you're paying for now at $1,700 is you're paying for the not the PNPT, but the PJPT plus 3 boxes. So you're paying $1,700 for that. So you might as well just go the fucking TCM route, in my opinion. Now, why I say choose a CPTS, because all the training is literally there. Except that the only bad thing is if you don't have that extra grind or drive and you need videos, that's going to be the hard part, because there is no videos. So that's why I would recommend that first, because from a budget standpoint, and also you're going to get actually more, and the quality training is there. Whereas when I went through OSCP, I get to try harder shit, but I shouldn't have to try harder to go find more material to help me study for this certification, especially when I paid $1,500-$1,600 for it. So that's where I'm coming from that, and I'm speaking to most people because they, a lot of people are new in college, trying to get their foot in the door, and the budget thing, the money thing is an issue, and it's going to be hard, especially when you got 90 days just allotted for you. That's going to be rough, especially if it's still the same where all the training's out there. It's going to hit your pocketbooks really hard. So that being said, there also was another one. I have been hearing the same thing as well, especially, yeah. So see, this is starting to come out now. Again, CPTS will be taking over, in my opinion. I would be shocked if it does not. There was one other one, and I'm going off of the YouTube questions here in the YouTube studio. Let's see. Yes, I will be doing a Lagolo video soon. I'm trying to do it correctly, just because I also don't want to get in trouble with Hack the Box. I will be trying to use a ProLab for that, but I'll have some certain things blocked out. So that will be coming soon. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I forgot it was a question on top of a reply. That's why it took so long. So the question was, is the CBBH realistic as far as the exam, like real life scenario? Yes, it is. Again, it's not real difficult. For me, it wasn't difficult at all. It was good, realistic, but it wasn't like the web stuff in the CPTS, which I guess is good, because this is more of a beginner introductory level to web. And I guess from what I've seen, at least, it seems like people are trying to tailor web to be the new entry level, because CPTS, I mean, you're hitting all cylinders all over the place. Internal, external, AD, web, and some of those web exploits. One of them really got the shit out of me, and it frustrated the hell out of me because you have to restart the machine sometimes 5 to 6 times in order for it to work. And apparently, that's how the that's how the exploit is in real life. So for those, I think it was flag 3. So for those that have taken it, know what I'm talking about. So it really got you, and there are some of them that are really, really long. And the CPTS 2, if you get stuck, you pretty much are stuck on the exam. Whereas the CBBH, like I said, once you do your scans, you get everything and do a granular scans on what you find from your OG scan. You could go back and forth, this, that, and come back. Whereas the CPTS is pretty much not like that. Once you get stuck, you're stuck. So, however, it is realistic. It's just more tailored to a beginner, but they are realistic. So that being said, that's the video, guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to put out the Advent of Cyber day 19 today, and then day 20. Yeah, and that's it. Y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow.